we got that first trailer for Black Panther Wakanda Forever, and emotions were running wild. And of course, when we see the film, emotions are going to be on another level when we see what exactly happens with T'Challa in the film and how they treat the subject matter. Now, one of the stars of the film, specifically the lead actress who is playing Shuri, Letitia Wright, talks a little bit about how the character responds to the death of T'Challa in the film. So one thing Letitia talks about is her own approach to reacting to that, and how she felt, how everybody else felt, and how it was on the first reading of the script, and then getting on set and not having him there, and how everybody was emotional and what they were going through. And she says that this is one of the things that's going to carry through into the film, and specifically what Shuri does to react to it. And she says that Shuri becomes consumed with her work. She gets to the point where it's all she wants to focus on because it's the only thing she has that she can sink into, that feels like it takes her out of where she's at, that emotion, and puts her into her own world, which of course still reminds her of her brother, but it's something that can literally help her cope with it. And Letitia compared this to the real life experience, how getting back to work on Black Panther was something that they all were anticipating and they all loved doing, so you just had to get into it and remember why you're doing this and what the reason is, and that you're also paying respect to Chadwick, and hopefully that the film captures that spirit and that Shuri has a appropriate reaction for what the character would do and how she would react in a real life situation. And I honestly really like this. I think many of us have went through something, horrific in our lives or some event, and you think, oh, I'm just going to take time off and relax. And it doesn't work. You start to relax and you realize, no, what I really need to do is focus my life or work or anything onto just one thing, because it takes me away from those feelings and emotions and things like that. At least if you're older, you've probably gone through something like that, whether it was the passing of someone or a traumatic event or something. Most people can relate to this. So I appreciate that they're going to take that real world approach to it, because they could have just said, okay, Shuri, she's going to sit around and cry. Yeah, some people do that. Other people do just dive head deep into their work and try to let it consume them, so they can try to, find a reason and exert their pain in some other way. That's how I am, so I honestly really appreciate that that's what we're going to see with Shuri, because to me, that's cool. That's a good angle to take on somebody like the character who definitely, you see that she's all about innovation and inventing and fixing things. Like, that's her thing. So it makes sense that she would want to get straight back into that and see what happens and how does that exactly offset her depression and, well, sorrow.